So, NextGen is something that myself and my friend Amy created, where it's kind of like VBS, but we eliminate all of the crafts, all of the music, all of that stuff, and we just play games for 2 hours. We're just playing games with kids, and the gym AC was not working, and so Scott was nice enough to let us move chairs, and we did it in here. With that being said, if you find any equipment that we missed, appreciate it if you would give it back to us. We think we got it all, but you might find a random thing of poop. Adam found a random thing of poop up here last week. But we just eliminate everything but games and give the kids a week of, we're just going to play. Played lots of dodgeball because they liked, lots of Chloe and Macy are shaking their head, yes, they love dodgeball. So we played lots of dodgeball type games, and we change it up. We're not playing the same game the whole 2 hours. I mean, we're doing it in 15, 20-minute increments so that they don't get bored, and we're switching it out. And then by Friday, we figure out what their favorite games are, and Friday we just play their favorites. But we're doing so much more than just games. Like Scott said, our motto, whatever you want to call it, is games that glorify. So every night, yes, we're playing games, but we are taking 20 minutes of every night, and that is blocked out, and we're telling a Bible story. Changes from year to year. This is our 3rd year doing it. We have yet to repeat the same Bible stories, other than Friday night, which is set in stone concrete, is always going to be Jesus and the gospel presentation. But, I mean, we did Jonah, we did David and Goliath, we did Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, building on a firm foundation. But how we do it is every single Bible story, we tie a game back to it so that we'll play the game. So building on a strong foundation, we did a game called Hula Hut Knockdown and built a little hut out of hula hoops, and each team had to protect their hut. But at the same time, they're trying to knock down the other team's hut. So we played that game, and then we went and we talked about building on a strong foundation. That hula hut was not very strong. I mean, it got hit. It just got touched barely, and it got knocked down, didn't it, girls? Chloe didn't like that one. She got mad. But because we played it 2 or 3 times, and the huts did not last very long. But then we talked about, all right, what could we have done to make that hut stronger? They said tape, glue, something to that effect. All right, now let's turn it to building on a strong foundation. If we build on the sand, our lives are kind of going to be like that hula hut, and they're not going to withstand much at all. If we can build on something stronger, if we can build on Christ, we're going to be able to withstand what comes our way. So we do that with every single story. We find a game, and it may not be the best game, it may not be a favorite game, but we find a game that at least we can connect back, because we have found that if we can connect it and then we can relate it, whenever we talk about a game or we talk about a story, they're going to go back and they're going to think. Last year, we did a chaos walk with Kira with Tower of Babel. And any time that is brought up, you remember that, don't you? That is our goal, is that we can give them something to connect to. Now, like I said, Friday is always concrete Jesus. We give them an obstacle course. We tell them they're going to complete it, and we time them, and then we give them a goal of, we want you to be done in this amount of time. We make it to where they cannot reach it, but they think that they can. We tell them, you don't get it, you're going to get a penalty. Normally it's 10 burpees, because some of them want to do burpees, some of them don't, but 10 burpees. They don't reach that goal. We say, all right, spread out, line up. We're going to do them all together. Right before we tell them to start going, we step in and we say, you guys have done so good this week, we're going to step in and take your punishment. Then we go relate it to Jesus. Jesus stepped in and he took our punishment. And the light bulbs that you see come on when you make that connection is awesome. Because they realize that was the point of that game. They took our punishment. We didn't have to do burpees. Jesus took our punishment, dying on the cross. The light bulbs are awesome, and I love it. Now, it's a little different than VBS because we don't need a lot of help, I guess, because, I mean, we're not doing different classes, that sort of thing. We're just playing games. But we have asked for snacks because if I give a kid a snack and tell them to sit down, they are a whole lot more apt to keep their attention when we tell a Bible story than just saying, sit down and listen. So let's give them a snack, give them some sugar, play some more games, and then I'll send them home. But snacks work. I have learned that. But our church is so gracious and provides snacks. We had plenty of snacks. We never even had to do a snack run this year, like halfway through the week, because we just had abundantly more than we needed. And we've actually got enough, I think, that we're going to last through the camp in Tennessee that we do in about 2 weeks, which is awesome because I don't want to say that we don't have support there, but we don't have near as much support as we do here when we do it. And so the fact that our church is able to give us enough that will last us through the camp here and the camp in Tennessee, that just shows me how great our church is. Jordyn and Cheyenne are awesome. They showed up last year and helped. They showed up this year and helped. Passed out our snacks, manned our water station, and it just made it to where we didn't have to worry about that. We could just say, go get a drink of water, and it was covered. So I appreciate them for that. We averaged around 25 kids, which some nights we had more, some nights we had less. We never hit our 30 mark that we wanted, but I'm okay with that because I know that every single kid that was there was the one that was meant to be there. So I am okay with that. And I'm so excited for next year to see how it's going to continue to grow because we grew from last year to this year. So I'm just so excited to see how it's going to grow. And with it being said that we don't need help, if anybody, granted we have a whole nother year, but if anybody just wants to show up, we'll throw you in there and you can play with the kids. They love it. Amy and I would jump in and play dodgeball, and they love it. So if any adults, any parents want to show up and just play games with their kids for 2 hours, I'm game because they love it. I mean, they will target you in dodgeball, and they will not go easy on you, but it'll be a blast, I promise.